as you're sort of mulling through all of this, let's kind of go through the results, what they mean for the major party leaders. We'll start with Doug Ford and his PCs. What would you describe as his victory?
You know, look, Angie, can't take anything away from Doug Ford and the PCs on this. They won the election, a third straight majority, something that no premier has managed to do in Ontario since the late 1950s. So that's a very significant accomplishment. You're hearing a bit of a but in my voice, and that's because what Doug Ford didn't do was increase the size of his majority, and that's because that's the bar he set for himself. On the very first day of the campaign, there in Windsor, he said to the voters of Ontario, I want a bigger mandate. The bigger mandate makes it easier to protect Ontario against the threat of tariffs. So by that measure, Doug Ford didn't quite accomplish what he had set out to do. There were some folks within the PCs who even said they could reach 90 seats. We have a little bit here from the speech that Doug Ford gave last night. Take a listen.
We'll rebuild roads and highways to keep people working and keep our economy competitive. Friends, this election, we promise to do whatever it takes to protect Ontario. And I'm so proud of the support we received. Together, we made more inroads into new communities, with more people seeing themselves reflected in our party, in our priorities.
So Doug Ford does have that fresh four-year mandate to implement his agenda. We were hoping to find out a little bit more about how he intends to do that, a bit of his reaction to the fact that he wasn't able to grow his majority, but the usual morning after news conference that the winner has, Doug Ford's people canceled that. So we're not going to be able to throw any questions to him today.
It's interesting, sort of, I guess, as he says, business going back into business here. An interesting night as well for the other parties, Marit Stiles and the NDP, being able to stay on as official opposition, but break the numbers down a little bit. Is this a good result for them?
Look, it is never good, a good result when you don't win an election, and the NDP did not win last night. They're taking some solace from being official opposition. For Marit Stiles, she talked a lot during her speech about how important of a job that is. And she sounded really genuinely enthusiastic about the next 4 years of holding the Doug Ford government to account. She also, in some ways, held out a bit of an olive branch to Doug Ford. Got a little bit of that here. Take a listen.
I want you to know that I'm congratulating tonight Premier Ford on his victory. And I really do want to offer him any possible help that we can provide in the face of the threat of Donald Trump. The threat is real. And I deeply believe that we can overcome it with a strong Team Ontario and a strong Team Canada approach.
Very conciliatory tone there from Marit Stiles, and you know, her NDP was under quite a lot of pressure from the PCs that were really targeting trying to win NDP-held ridings in places like Windsor and London and Northern Ontario. The PCs were only able to grab a couple of those seats.
They stay on, of course, as you mentioned, official opposition. Let's pivot over to the Liberal Party and Bonnie Crombie. This was sort of part of the headlines, I think, last night as well. Second place in the share of the vote, but third place where it matters, of course, in the seat count. They do maintain, or they brought back party status. But talk to me about the kind of night it was for the Liberals, as well as, of course, for Bonnie Crombie.
Yeah, Liberals told me during the campaign that they had three goals. One was that achieving official party status, 12 seats. Why does that matter? The legislature provides resources, money that allows the party to then hire staff, and that helps them build towards the next election. But the other two yardsticks, they did not reach that. They wanted to be the official opposition, did not accomplish that. They also wanted Bonnie Crombie to win her seat in Mississauga. She did not achieve that. And over the course of the evening, I got a text from a Liberal saying, wow, when the former mayor of Mississauga can't win her seat, that's not good. Still, Bonnie Crombie insists she's sticking around. Take a listen.
We'll make sure that you protect our public health care system and our Greenbelt and everyone trying to get ahead in this province who doesn't have a direct line to your office. Ontario, I'm here. I am with you. And I commit to you today that I will stay on.
Now, staying on as Ontario Liberal Party leader is not entirely within Bonnie Crombie's hands. She faces a mandatory leadership review, at which point, her party could basically push her out. One last thing I wanted to mention: the Green Party, Mike Schreiner, status quo for them at Queen's Park. They went into the election with 2 MPPs. They're coming out of the election with 2 MPPs.